Let's jump into the metaverse, guys, because there's more people getting on the metaverse bandwagon, including our friend, Miss Cathie Wood, and ARK Invest putting her opinion out there this week. In fact, she's having a rough week, let's be honest, but a multi-trillion-dollar possible opportunity coming when we talk about the metaverse. So overall, more focus, more people getting behind this idea, and more opportunities, guys, that we should discuss and come up with a bit of a game plan when it comes to how to kind of prepare yourself and position yourself as more and more people get behind this.
Yeah, look, we've talked about some of the sectors and the nuts and bolts that'll be behind it. And so, we can get into some technical analysis, and I know Arun will, with regards to some of the chip makers and your Robloxes of the world. And, there's always the ETF out there, which I'll always point out, like this Meta ETF, which existed before Facebook even decided to make their move. Of course, under pressure because it's got some high-flying tech names in there. But a couple of things that I think are interesting is, you just had, and I'm just gonna pull a fun article here that I found, and again, none of this should be news. People that know a lot about the metaverse and Sandbox, but look, there's been a lot of interesting buying of NFTs in places like Sandbox. Digital land. Someone just paid like a boatload for a yacht on Sandbox, like a digital yacht. Like this is real. Real money is actually getting spent, and this is going to be a bit of the future. So you've got to understand that you follow the money. At the end of the day, whether you believe it or not, there's going to be these opportunities. Do I believe probably as strongly as Cathie Wood that this is going to be gigantic? Maybe not as much as she does. That's why she does what she does. But at the end of the day, this is going to be these kind of projects are going to give you an opportunity to have somewhere else to I guess have capital appreciation, right? And especially in an inflationary environment, it tends to be these types of new ideas and collectibles and whatnot, which are like that last refuge. And I think that's where NFTs stand. Sandbox, 87 million in volume in the last 7 days invested in it. That's a large number, guys. And ultimately, you are going to have people that are jumping into this. I think it's given some boost, maybe not today because we're falling down in crypto markets overall, but you're getting some boost in some of these tokens like Ether because of this. I just don't think you can avoid it overall. Just keep in mind, most of your holdings are probably exposed to this already. If you own the bigger chip makers out there, I think Amazon Web Services is an undercover play as well. These ETFs are going to be good, but specifically, there's been a lot of volatility, Arun, in the biggest name because everyone says first NVIDIA, right? And there's been a lot of volatility there, and because of this pullback, do we have some opportunities to maybe catch this move?
Yeah, so I'm just going to go technically, look at this from a technical perspective. Keep in mind, metaverse became a word and then became a thing, and now everyone's going to participate in it, and it's going to be Matrix, in real life kind of situation here. What do we do with this? Like in terms of charts, let's see what the charts are looking like. Obviously, you got to price in the fact that it's out there. The word is being used a lot for everything. Now you have Neil saying that 106 million spent on things like yachts and in the digital world and whatnot. Okay, that's one thing. How do we look at it from a technical perspective? What is NVIDIA doing, which is one of the big players in this space? Okay, apart from us running up, it looks like it's providing resistance here around 320. It looks like it wants to come back a little bit. Can it come back? Absolutely. Is this one of those things where it's a fad that runs out after realization comes in that it's going to take a lot longer to implement than people think? Possibly. So this chart definitely looks a little too far. There might be some action here around 320 going up to 340. Now, are other names doing the same thing? Let's take a look at AMD, roughly doing the same thing. They're hitting resistance as well. Is Roblox, one of the bigger players that's already out there, is Roblox doing the same thing? Charts are starting to look very, very similar across the field here in that space. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a pullback in a lot of these names, providing an opportunity to buy. But it does seem like there's a little too much interest, a little too high, a little too fast right now, and it might be pushing things a little too far for us to get involved at the moment. So technically speaking, I think this might be one of those things that you kind of just wait for to come back a little bit. Just let things settle down. As we say a lot here, things may need to settle down because everybody and everything is getting way too hyped up way too quickly, which may mean that prices are much higher than they should be, even though over the long run, they might still go up. it might just have gone up a little too fast.
These numbers are just absolutely staggering. Here's that yacht Neil was mentioning, $650,000 for a yacht, a virtual yacht. Virtual is the key word here. I mean, guys, you can buy an actual boat, a very actual, very nice boat for that much money. So like crazy numbers, absolutely crazy numbers. And as we said, more and more people talking about it, the more and more momentum it will get and continue to have. The metaverse, guys, get used to it. It's coming.